So if you have an 03 through 06 Silverado Sierra and you want to get a little more light output, but you're not quite sure if you want to do the 6 high mod, I know the company makes a little circuit board for your fuse box. You can just plug and play. I didn't want the 6 high. I wanted to be able to turn the fog lights on and off if I didn't want them. So I'll show you what I did. Now, I'm not going to take credit for this. I'm definitely not the first person to do this, but I did do it a different way than a lot of people do. A lot of people just shove a diode in there. What I did, I'll show you this. So this is what it looks like. So this is your high beam, this is your low beam. So basically all you're doing is jumping the leg that turns them on. When your high beams turn on, it turns the low beams back on. So a diode, if you don't know what diode is, it's basically a one-way check valve for electricity, so it flows one direction but not the other. That's pretty much all you need. You can do it the way some people do it. They just shove it, the end of the diode down there with the leg of the relay, but like I said, I'll show you what I did. So here I got a relay. This is the same style relay that's in there. Here's my diode. This is probably a lot bigger than the diode you need. This is, I think, a 15 amp diode, but it's what I had, so it's a lot cheaper than buying the $20-something circuit board. And these are actually added fuse taps for mini fuses, but if you look, the legs on mini fuse and these are the same size. So what I did is I flattened this out in a vise. Actually just went ahead and flattened both sides out. So you end up with that. And it just slides right over. It's kind of a snug fit, but that's good. That's what you want, because you want it to have good contact. And then I just bent it up like that. And then I installed it back into the truck with the diode, but I used some crimpers. Actually, I put heat shrink over it, so there's no live wire, or as little live wire exposed as possible. I put just what kind of, I don't know what kind of they are. Let me see. Just this style of connector. It's a little big for it, so I think you can like shove another, like some wire in there with it to help, you know, get a good clamp on it. It might be a little loose, but that's all I did. If you look on the truck, you do it on both the 85. It doesn't want to focus, but so the bottom right is 85 on the relay. So you're just jumping those two legs. The direction, you kind of have to mess with it. So put both the little add fuse things on the relays and kind of turn your high beams on and touch the diode on the terminals and see if it goes to 4 high or not. If not, it's the wrong way. So just flip it around. It's not going to hurt anything because it is a diode. Electricity only flows one way. And then I probably could have cut mine a little bit shorter, the legs on the diode. So I have it bent down, that way it clears the cover for the fuse box. But a very cheap way to do it. And like I said, I didn't want the fog lights on at the same time, so I'll show you what happens if you turn the fog lights on. That is the way that I prefer them to work. And if you did want to do the 6 high mod and you already had diodes and everything, you could also jump the low beam to the fog light, so that when the low beam was on, fog lights would be on, and then when you have your high beams on, it jumps them all. So that's another way to do it. So if you have the pieces, you can do it a lot cheaper. A reason why you might want to do this, HIDs don't like to be turned on and off a lot, or actually at all. Once they turn on, they like to be on, and it'll wear them out if you turn them on and off a lot. So if you do the 4 high mod at least, then you'll protect them, and high beams will come on and off whenever you hit the switch. That's just a little short how-to video. That's how I did it. To me, it's a little bit better than it all on at once, but you know, whatever you want. If you want to see more of this truck or this truck, go ahead and subscribe. I spend way too much money on these things. Thanks for stopping in.